We did
Howdy,
it.
howdy.
And look at this, Grovesy.
Got the golden mic.
Golden mic. we are now professional. Hey? It's taken 11 episodes.
Anyway.
But look, it's gold, you know?
It's gold.
It's gold. And welcome. We are the two Aussie investors now with a proper microphone.
Fantastic. Looks
And
good.
I am Anzac, and I have the incredible, the amazing, the never duplicated, the always here and never anywhere else at this moment, Grovesy.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
And this is episode 11.
11.
Legs 11.
Legs
Good number.
11.
Feels good.
Yeah.
And it's been a big week. And
It's been a huge week, hasn't it? Been a lot going on.
Huge week.
Yeah.
And so what am I going to do here? I'll hit share screen. There we go. Usually you do that, but I put them together. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Grovesy's points of the day.
Yeah.
But before we go on, let me tell, we might have a guest speaker tonight.
Cool.
Join anytime. Click the link. There you go. It's just sending it to my mate Ajay. So he might join in tonight, which is kind of cool.
Righto.
Yeah. So, but as we discovered last week or the week before, you just, some people say, yeah, I'll be there, and they don't come. So you never know. You never know.
You take them as they come.
Grovesy's points of the day. Did I spell Elon right? E-L-O-N?
Yep, that's how you spell it.
Elon bought Twitter.
He bought Twitter. Can you believe
Twitter. And I know, well, we should start now. Two Aussie investors. We talk about
yes.
property, shares, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum,
Novonix.
Well, gold, commodities, and Novonix is the big one, which is the last one, which is the first one. You're right. Novonix, which is a share, but it gets its own finger. Gets this one, this one.
It's its own segment. Number one. Number
one. Number one. Elon bought Twitter. Great news there. We'll chat how we think it might eventually relate to Novonix.
Yeah.
ASX bloodbath. Hey, we've got the bloodbath.
Absolute bloodbath today.
Bloodbath.
Got smashed.
Yeah. Why NVX is eating shit, which, relates to that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Why NVX deserves more money from the government grant than Syrah, how do we say that? Syrah Resources. Syrah Resources that received 100 mil. We talked about that last week a little bit too, but we didn't really go into why NVX should get more. And funny enough, I just sent it, those points to my mate, the Crypto King. And then I thought this could be a topic. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Crypto motherfucking pumpin.
Yeah.
Motherfucking pumpin. And before I go on, I guess, we talk about diversify a lot. I've got shares, I've got crypto. So when, ASX obviously have gone down fucking heaps, but crypto goes up, at least, if you've got both, you're like, well, you've got.
Yeah, kind of evens it, flattens it out a bit.
Yeah, spreading the risk.
Spreading the risk, getting smashed.
But we have seen, I'm sure we'll go into it later, that has crypto been kind of following the stock market in the past? And
well, it's done what we thought it should do today, hasn't it?
Yeah, which is not.
Think,
people
would go into crypto.
Kind of even bigger news, isn't it? That but did it do that just because of Elon? Anyway, and what would you do?
Yeah.
The last thing.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, let's jump right into it with Elon. He's the man. Everybody loves him. And
he bloody bought Twitter. Can you believe it?
Twitter
Out of
accepts
his back
Elon
pocket.
Musk's buyout deal. Twitter's board accepted billionaire Elon Musk's offer to buy the social media company and take it private. The company confirmed. The announcement ends this week. So $54.20 per share. Best and final. Twitter board sought to fend off hostile takeover. Blah, blah, blah. Look, there's this video here. I haven't seen it. Do you want to watch it?
Yeah. Yeah. That's what they say.
Okay. Can you hear that?
No.
Fuck. So you can't hear that?
No.
Oh, well, now what do I do? Hang on, let's let here he is. Look at this. Hang on. AJ is connecting to audio. ... AJ, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, wow. We have AJ in the house, Grovesy.
G'day, AJ. How you going?
Oh, we can even see
Yeah,
him.
good,
Look at
good.
that. There he is. He's there. This is great. We can
Hi,
see him.
Grovesy.
How are you? Oh, there you are.
Good.
How you going?
Good, thanks.
All right. Nice to meet you.
Let me introduce
Nice to meet
AJ
you too.
to you, Grovesy. AJ's been a friend of mine for ages. And would I be right in saying, AJ, your favorite investment is property?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Property would be the one.
Property number one. And also, I told Grovesy that you have a Tesla. You've got 2 Teslas, but you know that's impressive.
That's
but
awesome.
you've had your Tesla for how long? Like, when did you get it?
7 years now. So
Jesus.
picked it up in January 2015.
And
I'm actually talking to you from inside the car.
Even better. Yeah, that's what we wanted. Yeah.
That's cool.
And so 2015, I mean, everybody's talking Tesla and everybody's talking electric vehicle now. But were they in 2015? Do you know what I mean? Like, was it as big?
Yeah, it was a very small number of people that were sort of showing interest in it. And it was very much in its infancy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, prior to the Tesla, we had a Nissan Leaf, and that
was that
that was
hybrid or something?
No, it was a full electric, but it was a big compromise because the range was really short and the performance was not really that great. So it was a very awkward sort of car, which
so
wasn't very practical.
Like, a Tesla wasn't even your first EV. It was
no, it wasn't.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the Nissan Leaf was the first one.
And when
that was in, I think it was one that was around. That was in 2014. Bought that one. So,
yeah. Okay. So you didn't have it for that long, and then you.
No.
How did you hear about Tesla? I don't even think I knew about them in 2015. Like, what?
I heard about Tesla. I was actually traveling in Europe back in 2010, and I was in France, in Paris, and I was walking around Paris exploring the city on holiday and bumped into a Tesla experience center. And so they had a prototype on display there, but they weren't. They didn't make the car for another couple of years after that. So but I was just so impressed by the design of it and that. So I just thought, one day if this thing takes off, and I didn't even realize when I saw it at that point that it was a pure electric car. So they just had like a sort of a display room, and just looked at the shape of it, looked good, and it felt nice. The big screen inside was nice.
Well, so you just saw it and thought, wow, what a hot car. And then then you were like researching, oh wow, it actually is an electric car.
It would have been in 2011, I think, around August 11 that I saw it.
So over 10 years ago.
Can I ask,
Yeah.
how long does it take to charge overnight? Like, does it charge quickly or?
Well, the
to
home
get a full
charger
charge?
I have, the one I have at home, it charges the car at about 53 kilometers per hour. So in 8 hours, it'll do 8 times 53. In 5 hours, 5 times 53. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And on a normal daily charge, it can have about 350k.
Okay, that's pretty impressive. Yeah.
Where do you
That's
usually
good.
Yeah,
charge
that's
it?
more than enough.
Where do you usually charge
Mainly
it?
at home. So mainly at home.
Yeah, nice.
At home. But we just get so my wife, she has the Tesla Model X, and that one we just did a road trip in that for the school holidays. We went up to Queensland in that for that.
And
yeah, so they have superchargers along the time.
How much did that cost?
Yeah, I think the whole trip cost us around $15.
Wow,
which is pretty good.
That is phenomenal.
Just to Brisbane or to Brisbane and back?
To Brisbane and back. So
Holy
because
are you hearing this? Like,
yeah, this is phenomenal.
This is shit.
Well, what happened? Both the cars we bought, both the cars we bought came with free lifetime supercharging on the Tesla network, so we can pretty much travel anywhere, and it doesn't cost anything. Yep. But outside of that, there's also a lot of other free or very low cost charging options. So yeah, it's so much more cost effective than petrol. So.
And
would cost you $1,000 to get up and back to Brisbane.
Oh yeah, at least
cool.
$1,000.
Right. At least,
you
know?
Yeah. That's and so many people have big cars like I do, which should cost double. What about because we talk about electric vehicles a lot in this podcast. What about we've heard that the maintenance of an electric vehicle is lower than a combustion car. Like, have you spent much on mechanics and
like servicing
and servicing in 7 years?
Yeah, so I mean, the first couple of years that we had the car, they used to do a scheduled service, like every 12 months. Yep. It would be like $500 or $600. On my wife's one, it was a bit more because it has those Falcon wing doors on it, so it was maybe around $1,000. And then after 2 years of servicing it like that, they came. The next time I went in, they said actually there's no more. You actually no longer have to service the car. You know, in the drivetrain, so between the battery, well, there's no gear, there's no transmission, and in the motor, there's actually no serviceable part in that whole sort of thing. So, if something goes wrong with it, then it's basically they just replace the whole thing. So, and it comes with both the cars came with an 8-year unlimited kilometer drivetrain warranty. So, so it's still the drivetrain's still under warranty, even though it's 7 years old.
So after those first 2 years, have you spent much on servicing and mechanics? So that's 5 years.
No, not much. But a couple of things on my one, which is the Model S. The door handles needed to get replaced because they stopped working a couple of times, and other than that, it's been pretty much smooth sailing. Yeah. But one thing that they've offered, and I'm actually getting it installed next week, is that you can get an upgraded computer in the center console, so then you can watch Netflix, YouTube, and stuff in the car. So
as you drive.
Well, I think it disables it when you drive, but when you're stopped, you can do that.
Yeah,
and
wow.
So you're gonna I think they're gonna make it so you can just upgrade different parts of it as you go. So maybe you might stop yourself having to buy a whole new car to try and make it a bit better.
Can I ask, have you tried the automated function or the
driverless
function? How was that?
So the drive to Brisbane. So I reckon it would have been we would have done about 2,500 k's for the drive. I reckon at least 1,800 to 2,000 of it would have been on autopilot.
Really?
Wow.
Wow.
So you still have to, you still have to keep an eye out and keep your hands on the steering wheel, but
Yeah.
it pretty much drives by itself, and you don't need. It's just a lot. You don't get as tired, anywhere near as tired as driving a normal car. So yeah.
And does it sense cars obviously must sense a car in front and slow down, or do you have to take control to move lanes or anything?
So the one we took for the longer trip, it's a bit newer, so it's got a few more sensors and that on it. So it uses a camera and can see the lanes, and then it has a radar, and that tells it the distance to the car in front, and it has cameras around so it can see cars in the next behind it, what's behind it. It can see what's in the next lane and that. So once you hit autopilot, it'll when you're on the freeway, it'll recommend changing lanes. So if there's a slower car in front of you, it'll say, I recommend you change lanes to this, and just tap the stalk to confirm it. So you just tap there's something on the steering wheel, and it'll just go.
Does it actually?
Then it'll do the change.
So do you physically move the steering wheel, or?
No, it does it by itself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
that's cool, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think a lot of the functions, they've got the technology to run it completely autonomously, but I think regulatorily, because of regulations, they still want to, have you confirm things before it does it.
Yeah.
But it could actually, it can do it by itself.
Gee, that's really cool. That's phenomenal.
Yeah,
and can I ask? Sorry, you kept going.
No, I mean, if you get a chance, I highly recommend taking one for a test drive. And I mean, if you can get it out and try the autopilot, it takes a bit of time to basically trust the autopilot, because
it must be weird.
Do it, you're like, there's no way I'm going to let this thing drive me. So it takes a good an hour or 2 hours to which you're probably not going to get a 2-hour test drive. But I highly recommend trying it. It's it'll change change your mind about a lot of things.
Yeah, Gross.
And can I ask that when you bought the car, did they tell you how long you'll get? Because as you know, me and Jules are heavily invested in a company called Novonix, which are producing long life graphite materials for batteries to make the batteries last longer. Okay. So did they tell you how long you'll get out of a battery? Like, is it 250,000 Ks or 500,000 Ks?
Look, they didn't actually say how much you get, but I think for me, the comfort for me was they were saying, it's got an 8-year warranty, unlimited kilometers. So that, I thought, I'm probably not. I thought I'd probably change car. I normally change every 3 to 5 years. So
most.
But I'm really enjoying this one. But because I'm enjoying this one, it's now 7 years and I'm still going. But I have a friend, and they run a Tesla sort of limousine company, and they have cars that are 400,000, 500,000 kilometers, and they're still going great. So
still fine.
I feel comfortable to keep going, because I've only done about 115,000 or something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's still plenty of if it goes to 400,000 or 500,000, then plenty of.
But do you find as you're getting more Ks on it, like with a phone battery, does it lose its charge quicker? Or?
Yeah. So does it? You said 53 kilometers. It charges in an hour. Was it more than that before? Is it getting less?
The charge rate has stayed the same. The total charge, I think, since I bought it 7 years ago, it's maybe dropped 10% from what it was originally.
Yeah, wow.
Okay.
So the total kilometers, So I think the total kilometers when I bought it was maybe 400, and now it might be about 370 when I really charge it to the max. So it hasn't been hasn't been really noticeable. So.
Yeah.
Did you think Tesla would be as big as it is today when you you got one 7 years ago?
No way. Yeah, no way. Because I'm an early adopter, so I don't mind buying the product and having a try. But I think if you told me to invest in it back then, I would have been, maybe I'll just try the product. But probably, would have been better off doing it the other way around, I think, in hindsight.
Yeah, you would have made a fortune with Tesla.
I think it was $130 or something a share back when around that sort of level when I put the order on this one. So
what's it now?
Would have done well.
What's it now?
So what don't you like about it? Is there anything you don't like
what's
about
the share price now?
Yeah,
I think it's over at 1,100 or something, is it? Or
yeah, it was about 1,500 or something, I think, at its peak. US.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
but
don't you like?
Is there
about
anything that you don't like about it? About the car?
Or even just don't like about electric vehicles?
Yeah.
Well, I think so. On the longer trips, it still feels you can have times of having range anxiety, or a lot of the charging stations. I mean, Tesla's normally very reliable, so all their stations are up, and they've got at least 4, if not 6 or 8 chargers at each stop. So you got redundancy, but a lot of the other providers, they're only putting like one charger at a spot. So you run a risk that if there's quite a few electric cars going at the same time and there's only one charger, you got to wait in turn, basically. Yeah. So that's a pretty annoying sort of thing. And secondly, a lot of them are actually not even working. So you rock up and then there's a fault with that charger, and then you're like, okay, I'm stranded here, or I've got to charge at a really slow rate to be able to continue my journey. So I think for road trips there, Australia still needs a lot of work done on the charging network. But I think for when you're if you're using the car as a daily commuter and that, I think it actually is much better than a petrol car, because you plug in at home, so you don't go out of your way or anything, and you can start every morning with 350 k's to go. And
350 k's will last you a week in a city normally, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
50 k's max a day.
When's the last time you went to a petrol station?
I normally go to buy my daughter some chocolates or treats. and the funny thing is now she associates petrol stations with treats. So she's like, let's get a petrol car, Dad, then we can always go to the petrol station and get a treat. So it's sort of reverse. Yeah, and I for a while I was like, I always asked her, do you like the electric car or do you like the petrol car? And she's always like, I like petrol car. And then I'd be like, I was like, we're trying to do the right. I explained the environmental benefits and that, and then later on, finally, she said, petrol. We go to the petrol station to get treats.
Okay. So really, there's a huge opportunity for Australian companies to come up with that, or provide that infrastructure, isn't there? And governments to get involved to start, because I know from the research Jules have done, Biden's put a lot of
billions into this.
Billions into incentivizing companies to put in these charging stations and start building that infrastructure up. Australia's really far behind, isn't it? Like that's where federal and state governments.
I mean, I don't know if you guys have looked at that company called Tritium.
The founder, one of the founders of that actually was one of the founders of Novonix as well, Trevor St. Baker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's also on the Novonix, was on the Novonix board.
I see.
Kind of interrelated.
Right.
Yeah.
So they so they've done I think they're expanding their manufacturing and things, but I think they've taken it overseas as well. Probably cost saving and things, but
so there's a huge gap in the market then in Australia, isn't there? Really, like there's someone to come in,
Well, I think the whole the whole electric car thing is disrupting so many industries that I think there's a lot of resistance from, I think, say, big oil and petrol stations would obviously be wanting to resist this because it changes everything. And then,
but like from everything me and Jules have researched and read, all of the major car companies are transitioning by 2030.
If the car companies do it, then petrol companies, they can only, what can they do? They can only just change with it.
Yeah. I mean, in the past, they've always just lobbied the government to keep allowing them to do it, or, I know the GM, I don't know if you guys have watched that. There was a documentary, Who Killed the Electric Car?
Yeah, I've heard of this. It's like 15 years old, isn't it? Yeah, it's a very old.
Yeah. So GM had made a fairly good electric car. It was called the EV1.
Yep.
And I think that they'd delivered about, 2,000 of them. And they were starting to get really popular and people were ordering them. And they were all, the only way you could acquire one was by taking a lease out on it. And then suddenly one day they literally went and picked up all of these cars and then just destroyed them.
Yeah, wow.
So all the customers that were leasing them were told, "Oh, look, we have to take the car back," and then they just basically destroyed them.
Wow.
I don't know the exact mechanics behind it, but it sort of felt like it was.
They're like, geez, these cars are too good.
Something to prevent them from, something to prevent them from existing.
Bloody hell. Jeez.
Yeah. But...
And what did you think of, I'll just pull this up now, hit share screen. We're just having a read of this. AJ, can you see that? Twitter accepts Elon Musk's buyout deal. What do you reckon?
Right, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Well, he's probably the most controversial tweeter out there. So
yeah. Well, I've like today I was saying to Jules, I think it's actually positive for the EV space because I think if he controls Twitter, he could potentially control the narrative around electric vehicles, and obviously he's got a vested interest with Tesla.
Yeah, yeah.
So it could be a whole a positive thing for the whole EV.
Oh, it's
industry
great.
Going
it's
forward.
Great for Tesla. It's great for EVs. Has Twitter ever, edited? I almost said Trump. Has Twitter ever edited Elon Musk's tweets at all, or I don't even know that. But
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I'm.
But anyway,
not that I'm aware of. Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it?
I mean, people are saying, will he control it? And then it's not actually freedom of speech. That's what people are worried about. What I've read, but I personally think it's like just looking at it from an EV perspective, it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah,
because he can say whatever he wants. Once he's the owner, he can do whatever he wants and promote EVs.
Here's another article here. It's official. Elon Musk buys Twitter.
And didn't Doggy Coin go nuts today because of it?
Yeah,
because he's bought it.
Dogecoin.
Or Dodgy Coin.
Doge. I'm a bit of a crypto lover, AJ, and Grovesy isn't.
Okay.
Are you a lover of the cryptocurrency?
Well, I've always been a heavy doubter of it, and it seems to always seem to go in a good way, as opposed to what my prediction is. So.
Look, you bought a Tesla 7 years ago, AJ. You made a great decision. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As simple as that. But I don't think anyone thought, crypto would go this well. I mean, in hindsight, it's easy to say that. But we just said that, here you go, look at him. We just said that EVs will, it's good for EVs, it's good for Novonix, Elon Musk buying Twitter. But is it good for cryptocurrencies as well? Because he is an avid supporter of cryptocurrencies.
Potentially, yeah, if he can control that narrative again.
Mm. I mean, he made a move anyway. Like, you know, he said, you know, cryptocurrency, you know, like when he said, oh, Bitcoin is only going to get into Bitcoin more when they become more environmentally friendly to make it, you know, it dived, you know.
Yeah.
When he says stuff like Dogecoin, you know, smiley face, it fucking goes up, you know.
Yeah,
like
markets go nuts.
But is him owning Twitter, is that going to influence it even more, you know?
Yeah.
Mm.
And the thing is that, you know, you've got your Facebooks and Twitters and Instagrams, and, you know, they have their day. Has Facebook had its day? You know, is it as big now as it's been before? No, it's getting less popular. So is Twitter on its way out? You know, is it the Netflix? Is it going down? You know, like.
Well, I think one positive from him buying it out is it's going to be a private company, not public. So they're not going to be as constrained with all the government regulations.
Yeah.
That you might actually have more freedom of speech potentially.
Who else in the world could buy Twitter?
I know. 66 billion. You just pull that out of your back pocket.
Oh, that's Aussie dollars, is it?
Yeah, that might be
44
billion. Yeah, 60. Yeah.
Well, I don't know how many individuals have 44 billion in cash sitting around.
Yeah, I know.
I definitely don't.
Yeah.
And he pays for it in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you're looking at from a Tesla shareholder's point of view, though, what you'd be worried about is he's taking on another company. Like, is he taking his focus away from, you know, that space, the electric vehicle space, and SpaceX? He's got a lot on his plate. Like, does he really need to
$44 billion, right? How much money does Twitter bring in? You know, and look, I know it gets money from, you know, people advertise on their site, but, you know, I've got Twitter. I hardly look at it. Do you guys use your Twitter much?
Not really, no.
I use it occasionally. I mainly follow Elon Musk, and I used to follow Donald Trump when he was president.
I guess that's kind of my point too. Like how, you know, they're valued at $44 million. That's a lot of advertising. You know, that's to make that money back. That's a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah. He's gonna have to. He'll probably want to monetize it some other way.
How?
I don't know how he'll do it.
How else can you make money off these social networking sites that sell ads? Like, look what we're doing now. The only way YouTube makes money off this is if we agree to have these ads flogging at the start and halfway through and shit like that. Like, what other ways can social networking sites make money off this thing?
Well, they got to grow, I guess. Like, Twitter's not as big as Facebook, so maybe that's one reason why he's bought it, because he thinks he can grow it.
Yeah, wow.
Grow it bigger potentially.
Well, I think the other thing is if they got bots reading the tweets, and then they can time advertising or information. You know, if someone sort of talks about electric vehicles, for instance, and then it, you know, an ad for Tesla pops up, or you know, something about solar panels, or, you know, they can sort of, if they know someone's actively thinking about it right now, then that's a great time to introduce the product to them. Whereas,
true.
Yeah, before they probably didn't have that option.
Yeah.
Well, yes, but again, 44 million. 44 billion. You know, that's a lot of Teslas, and convincing people when you know, right now Tesla is the golden goose of electric vehicles anyway, you know.
But then again, he's got 500 billion or something sitting in his back pocket, so he's probably just bored. He wants to
Yeah.
have a challenge.
Yeah. And what a cool challenge.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Very cool.
So AJ, Jules was saying that you're an avid property investor. So could I ask your thoughts on what you think is going to happen with interest rates going forward? Do you think we're going to get a massive spike, like a percent in the next year, or?
I think it's the interesting scenario now, because normally the interest rates go up when the property prices are going up very fast. Or ramping up. That's when they start doing the interest rate rises. But I think we've sort of already had quite a bit of property growth, say in the houses especially, and that's sort of slowed off now. But the inflation rate's still high because of wages. Yeah, so I think it's a hard decision for the Reserve Bank to make, because they risk, I guess, the housing market really getting slowing if they do increase the rates, but they sort of go on their back because they're worried about I guess they're worried about inflation getting out of hand, and so it's a bit of a catch-22.
Your voice just changed a little bit, AJ. Did you hear that?
Oh, sorry.
I think it went through though. And you're not going to believe it, but this I don't pay for a Zoom account, so we've got 9 minutes and 18 seconds left. Is that okay? Oh, AJ, you're frozen, mate. Look, do his face. Ready?
I lost him.
We've lost him. That's okay.
Let's
keep going. Yeah.
We got him back.
Well, let's go to the next one.
Did we get him back? No, lost him.
I don't think so.
Oh, hang on. Might be coming back.
Yeah, are you guys there?
Yeah.
Oh, yep, gotcha.
AJ and Grovesy, we got the next one. It says bloodbath on the ASX as China's COVID crisis sends mining, energy stocks into free fall. So was that the reason why the ASX ate shit today? Was it China's COVID crisis?
Well, BHP and Fortescue got smashed, went down about 6%.
Everything got smashed.
Because the iron ore price went down about 6.5% because of all these fears over how long they're going to be in lockdown.
Yeah,
which is amazing that they're still trying to go for COVID zero. I don't understand it. Like we've said in other weeks, Jules, I'm like, what do they know that we don't know about COVID? Like, I don't understand why they would be going for COVID zero. It doesn't make sense.
Why are they going so hard? Like they're not little lockdowns. They're just
they're like full on, Melbourne Victorian style lockdowns.
Yeah. What do you reckon? I know you love property, not so much love crypto. What about stock market, AJ? You like that? It's a bit of fun gambling, isn't it? Legal gambling.
Yeah. It's a very fast moving market, isn't it? The stock market. It's like it reflects human emotion very quickly.
Yeah.
Now I'm pulling this up. This is what you sent to me, Grovesy. I'm racing through a few topics, if that's okay.
Yes,
AJ,
this is a report from
so
Zach's
this is we love the company Novonix, right? And this one here is a report on Novonix. Zach's small cap research. Who is Zach? Just some bloke?
No, it's a brokerage firm in America.
So I know some of these.
Like a Morgan's here in Australia type thing.
Oh, okay. So nobody pays Zach to write this stuff.
I'm pretty sure Novonix probably would have paid him to give him a good write-up.
To give him a good write-up, but at the same time too, they couldn't make anything up as well.
No. I think some people probably subscribe to it as well. Yep. Like with Morgan's, you become a subscriber and then they give a recommendation. But yeah, I mean, it's all got to be based off facts. They can't be making stuff up.
Well, the good-looking stuff here, current price, this is in American dollars, $17.42, and after the dump Well, America had it last Friday, didn't they? And they're probably having more.
Yeah.
Valuation, 40 American dollars. I like the look of that.
Yeah, so $10 because they've got a 4-for-1 ratio for the shares on the NASDAQ.
Yep.
So that equates to $10 US, which is about what, $13 Australian.
Which is awesome. Which is that's
and it's currently
$5.20
or something. Yeah. Which that's why I thought it was amazing when I saw it. I thought, wow, they're actually still valuing it higher than what the all-time high was.
Yeah. Higher than it's ever been. You know, I guess, you know, it's just amazing, this stuff. It's nothing new. It's talking about infrastructure bills of Novonix. It's talking about, you know, the use of EVs and even hybrids and the tax credits and the Biden admin giving them all money. And look at this. We were just talking about that EV charging ports. 500,000 of them in America.
Oh, wow.
EV charging ports by 2030. I mean, that's not that long away if you think about it. Like, how many are there now? Not bloody nearly. Not that many, you know. And
is this one traded on the NASDAQ, is it? The Novonix?
Yeah, it just, it's based here in Australia. It's always been an Australian-based company, but they just listed on the NASDAQ in, was it January or Feb? Jules, I can't remember. It might have been Feb.
I think Feb.
So just recently.
Yep. But, you know, again, it's not that famous in America. And, you know, it's got links to, believe it or not, it's got links to Elon Musk. It's got links to Tesla.
The chief scientific advisor, which is Jeff Darn, works for Tesla and works for Novonix.
So there you go. Great article there. I'll leave the link to that so the people can click on that and have a read. Can I keep going through the articles? We've only got a few more minutes.
Maybe go into about why you think Novonix deserves more federal funding from America.
Okay, that was interesting. So we got it here. This one. Why NVX deserves more money from the government grant than Syrah Resources. And so Syrah Resources, AJ, as we were discussing, Grovesy, were given $100 million. Was it 104 or something like that?
Yeah, it's about 104 US million. And so Syrah is a natural graphite company here in Australia
that mine in Mozambique,
mine natural graphite
in Africa, and
but the company's based here in Australia.
Yeah, and this is all about America wanting supply chains. So they want the supply chains for their batteries, and they don't want to go to China or a couple of other places to get these materials. They want their own supply chains, basically. So you're in your Tesla.
Supply chains.
Yeah, in your Tesla, the graphite would have come from China, and America wants their own supply chains. There you go. So,
well, they're having that standoff with trading and things, right? So
exactly. Like, what if China says, "Sorry, no more for you, no more soup for you"? That was a Seinfeld kind of.
Well, I mean, even now, look at what's happening with COVID. Like, America can't control that, so their supply chains are being affected right now.
Yeah. Some reason it employs more USA citizens. Novonix employs more USA citizens than Syrah. Yep. It does more than just refine natural graphite in the USA because you know, Syrah digs this natural graphite out of holes in Africa and doesn't do much to it in America, but you know, Novonix making synthetic graphite, you know, more people, more work, more things happen, you know. Better. Only you're going to love this, AJ. It's the only synthetic graphite producer in the USA. Novonix. Huge. the research and development team. I mean, this is a reason why. I mean, even though if there was not making any synthetic graphite, if Novonix was making nothing, I mean, this is what America needs: good research and development in these batteries.
And Jeff Dahn heads that up, who's one of the he's the chief scientific advisor for Novonix. And he's, as me and Jules call him, the grand poopah of the battery industry.
Yep.
So everyone looks up to him. He's world renowned, and he's patented hundreds of battery applications.
Look at this. It's more environmentally friendly. We've talked about that. And state-of-the-art research development team. You're not going to believe it, but we've got less than a minute to go. And it's all because I'm too much of a tight ass to pay for a Zoom account.